Good morning, my word nerds. How are you guys this morning? I am coming to you live from Orlando, Florida. So yes, I'm a little bit early, but this is what's going to happen this week because it may be 7 o'clock in California, but it is 10 a.m. on the East Coast. So I'm going to have to be doing this on East Coast time this week. So thanks for being here on the replay if that's where you're at. If you're on my YouTube channel, thanks so much for being here. My name is Christine. I am a member of the Perry Girls, and each and every weekday morning I bring you a new and amazing word of the day for you to add to your vocabulary so that you can sound smarticles. Today's word of the day, hello, is Imago. Imago, or Imago. Depends on how you want to pronounce it, but it's I-M-A-G-O. Either Imago or Imago. Okay? And this means an idealized image of someone formed during your childhood and persisting later in life. So, here's my example of this. Hey, Amanda Pienda! So here's my example of an Imago. My uncle is like 6'2", maybe 6'4". And as an adult, he's a tall man, but he's not a giant. Well, when I was a kid, he was a giant. And I formed this ideal of him in my head of who he was. He was my big, tall, lanky, kind of scary uncle. And even though I know him, I can have an adult conversation with him as a grown-up, when I look at him, I still see that big, scary... Oh, this is not working, is it? I still see that big, scary uncle. And I'm 40-something years old, right? And he's, 70 or something like that. But that's the idealized image that I formed of him in my head when I was a child, and that still persists of him today. So it's usually formed in childhood, but it could also be like if you're in an association, like I'm in the American Payroll Association, the first time we ever see Dan Maddox, who is an amazing individual, but he's the executive in charge of the entire APA, the first time anyone sees him, you're completely awestruck by him. Once you get to know him and like have conversations with him, he's so sweet, so down to earth, so real. And he's actually kind of quiet and almost introverted, but he's not. But when you first see him, he's this larger than life character almost on stage. And it can be very intimidating when you get to be in a room with him to actually approach him. So it's kind of the same thing, but that's not something that was developed in childhood. So this is really more about something that was developed in childhood. So if there's someone or something in your life where you've developed this idealized image of someone, hey, Smartphone, thanks for hopping on, it's where you create this idealized image of someone, usually when you're a kid, and then later in life, that same idealized image of that person persists. So then, again, my example is my really tall uncle who, as a child, I thought was a big, scary giant. Now I just think he's annoying, but he's still a giant. But I do still, when I think of him, I still think of him as, that big, scary uncle, even though I know he's not a big, scary uncle anymore. I know he's not, but I still see that up here, you know what I mean? I did have a very interesting Mother's Day. I spent the entire day on airplanes. About this time yesterday, I got to the airport in California, and I landed 11 hours later in Florida. So my entire day was spent on airplanes. And then I got here and hooked up with some friends, and we had cocktails and dinner, and we're having a great time. So anyway, class is going to get back started in about 5 minutes, so I'm going to make a little trip out and grab some coffee, but I wanted to come on here and give you guys your word of the day. So again, it's Imago, I-M-A-G-O, Imago, meaning an idealized image of someone formed in childhood and persisting later in life, all right? Use it, don't abuse it. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Know that I love you all. And I'll see you back here tomorrow morning for another amazing Tuesday edition of Word of the Day. Until then, bye now.